Cheers! Most people think leadership is about power. Maybe you're one of those. But the truth is, power doesn't make people follow you, but trust does. And trust is built through authenticity and vulnerability. If you have your coffee or tea ready, we can dive in. First thing first. In this video, I will break down Brené Brown's research on vulnerability and how it directly applies to leadership and branding. And business, one bonus for you. Because people don't connect with perfection. I don't, and I know you don't as well. They connect with real, imperfect, human brands. And the same applies to leadership. People follow those who are authentic, real, and show their human side and be vulnerable. I have a hard time saying this word, so bear with me here. Well, I want to thank you for being here and watching my videos and walking with me in my journey, because I never call myself as an expert in any area that I talk about. I am an expert in branding, NLP, speaking, coaching, but I am also learning. I'm always learning, and you are also always learning. So why to brag about things? I'm just here having the time and courage to share what I've learned with you over the past 12 years of experience. That's a bonus. On Saturday, February 1st, I delivered a speech about authentic leadership at Trainathon. Yes, that is one of the greatest things of being a member of Toastmasters International and also being invited to speak at that amazing event. It was a 24-hour Trainathon, and the reason why they said Trainathon is because they never stopped. 24 hours, they had sessions in each hour with different hosts and different speakers, and they all shared different topics, and they had the Q&A session and also audience participation. So I had a great time delivering a speech about authentic leadership. If you're curious about what the Toastmasters is, you can click the link below and see what my club does. And if you have more questions, you can email me on the email below, and I would be happy to chat with you about it. Moving forward, what I shared about authentic leadership was, and it is, it doesn't happen only on the stage. My speech title was When the Mic Drops, What Remains? So the thing is that you are leaving people with a feeling. Your words can fly to the moon, but the feeling you leave can stay a little longer depending on how well you're delivering and how well they are receiving. So it's both sides, right? Communication is both sides. And I shared a key point about leadership. Leadership isn't just leading others. It's about leading your own life, leading yourself first. Because when you're leading your life and becoming a leader of your own life, then you are a great example for people to follow. Following? Okay, let's get a little deep in this topic. If you're new to my channel, maybe you haven't watched the video about my transformation from being an HR specialist to a branding coach, international motivational speaker, business owner, entrepreneur, and all that title that I am wearing as hats. So what I want to point out here in my journey is 12 years ago, let's put it here, I was managing 350 employees in corporate HR in Turkey, delivering polished presentations, and I was checking all the boxes that society teaches us, right? What those are? You go to school, you get a degree, then you get a job, then you get married, have a child, on and on. And there's nothing wrong by following these. But at that time of my life, I wasn't ready to follow through. I was on the married stage, so I needed to get married based on the social norms. But I wasn't ready because I didn't know what I want. I didn't know who I was and who I was meant to be in this life. So what I did, I quit. Okay, let's back up here. So I said I checked all the boxes that society teaches us, right? But deep inside, I felt a disconnect. And I had this thought, how could I lead others if I wasn't leading my own life? At work, I was too much. I was too happy, too ambitious, too eager to bring new ideas. And in corporate worlds, most of them, they don't like new ideas because that can not meet the budget, and it can create a lot of process, and they just don't like. At least at that time, it was the scenario I was in. One morning, let me get my coffee mug here because it's related to coffee again. I was standing in line to get my coffee. A senior colleague turned to me and said, "How are you always smiling? You can't possibly always be joyful." He wasn't curious. He was trying to bring me down. And I was shocked and couldn't say anything. I was not this much dominant at that time, so I didn't have anything to tell him. But I'm grateful for my colleague today because he helped me to open my eyes. As I walked back to my office, I said this to myself: I have to leave. Not just this job, but this country. I need to find myself, what I stand for, who I am, and who I want to become. And I didn't know exactly where I was going. I just knew that I have to leave and I can't stay where I was. And that decision changed everything for me. That was the moment I started holding my life. I started getting on the driver's seat rather than on the passenger seat. And here are 3 things I learned about leadership through my journey, through the people I worked throughout the years, and through the people around me in my journey again. So lesson 1, leadership is about alignment, not titles. Because what society teaches us that we are chasing for titles, manager, director, CEO, boss, right? But that's not how you will be fulfilled in life. And that's not how you're going to be the leader of your own life. Leadership is about alignment between your words, values, and actions. The strongest leaders aren't the one with the loudest voices. They are the one who lives what they teach. Think of Brené Brown, one of my role models. She doesn't just talk about vulnerability. I told you I have a hard time with this word, rolling my tongue. She embodies it. And that's why people trust her. And that's why her brand is powerful. Now think of the opposite. And I talked about this in this video. Are you walking your talk? You can get more vibe of this authentic leadership. The leadership coach who preaches confidence but hesitates to speak up for themselves. Or the company promotes transparency but hides behind closed doors. Or the entrepreneur who talks about alignment but jumps at every opportunity even though they are not aligned with his values. We can all feel it when somebody isn't walking their talk. So comment below if you think I walk my talk. What do you think about me and my brand? I'm curious. And it's okay to say anything you want to say because like I said, I am learning too. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you. Maybe my energy couldn't come across to you, but maybe you really love what I stand for and you really believe I have the authenticity and authentic brand. So comment below. Thank you. Lesson 2. Trust comes from authenticity, not perfection. And I touched on this a little bit at the beginning of the video, right? Nobody is perfect. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be the best role model or the best leader, best coach. Nobody is. And everybody, every single person in the world is trying to figure out. So if I act as the perfect person or somebody you follow as the perfect person, like life doesn't happen to them, would you like to follow that person? Maybe you follow just to see what's happening in his life, but that wouldn't create trust between you and that person, correct? So authenticity comes from being imperfect, and it is the foundation of all great leadership. If I need to touch my own story, when I started my company, Joy LLC, I promised to myself that I would create everything based on my values of joy, authenticity, and growth. But let's be real. Do you think I did follow my values easily? No. Sometimes I couldn't. Because as an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, please comment below. I'm an entrepreneur and I hear you. As an entrepreneur, you want to make money. So you tend to jump at every opportunity because there's money, there's an opportunity, there is a client, there is a collaboration, right? Networking, everything. You just want to discover the possibilities. So what do? You tend to forget your values or forget to ask what your heart tells you to do. So you fail into being aligned. So that's what I did. I jumped at almost every opportunity at my early entrepreneurship journey. And I learned such powerful lessons. Saying yes to everything dilutes your brand. Think about if I support every single brand out there, if I am the fan of everyone, or if I try to talk to everyone, I fail. I would fail because it's not possible. That's why I said maybe you are here the first time and maybe my energy doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay because then we are not a good match. All right. But the people I am talking to over the past 10 years, over a decade, are entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, and aspiring ones. Aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring speakers, and aspiring coaches. And plus individuals who want to change their life. Maybe they are in corporate world, but they want a different job, or they want to have the transition in their life, vice versa. Your true success comes from saying no to those opportunities don't feel aligned with you. Lesson 3. Consistency builds influence. If I don't show up with my videos, with my podcasts, with my speeches, with my posts, then I don't have a brand. I don't have a consistent brand. And consistency is the C of my authentic word. I have the code of authentic branding speech. That is my signature speech for branding. And the C of authentic word stands for 3 things, but the first thing is consistency. Whatever you do, it needs to be consistent to be able to create trust between your audience and what you do yourself. Leadership isn't just about what you say, it's all about how you show up. And I always say this, you are your brand every time, even no one is watching you. So keep that in mind. Even if you are alone at home, you are your brand. You need to have the ability to act in a way that you stand for every time, at any moment. And of course, I'm not counting when you sleep, or I'm not counting when you are, having a chit chat, but still, what you stand for, your brand, your actions, your words, your vulnerability, your authenticity makes you who you are. Own it every time. A little bit of my mixed experience. I want to share how consistency is the key in both corporate world as a leader, in entrepreneurship journey, and in general, having a client relationship or traveling. Consistency is everything. So if you want to be a leader people trust, here's the simplest thing you can do. Ask yourself this question: are my actions fully aligned with my values I speak about? If not, what's one shift you can make today, right after this video ends? What can you do that will take you closer to be your own authentic leader? And if you want some guidance, some virtual coffee chat on your values, your brand, your speaking, connect with me. Let's have a discovery session. And if we are a match, we can start building your authentic life and brand. Cheers. Stay authentic.